I got this point. I feel like it hasn't been addressed. I feel like you've kind of hinted at it a little bit, but
Okay.
with Trent Williams, I feel like his leadership is questionable.
Thank you.
I feel like he's a leader as far as like what he does on the field. Obviously,
Right.
he's probably the best left tackle in the league, Hall of Famer most likely. But
Leads by example.
yeah, leads by example, but not with his words. Like when he talks in the post game press conferences and stuff like that, it doesn't seem like he really um, is
Cares.
well spoken. Yeah, or like he
Well, he
cares.
talks about himself. Yeah, I played well. I did
Yeah,
good.
and
Yeah.
last year, whenever we had Staley, obviously his presence is gone.
Yes.
And with McGlinchey, his attitude is different. Like when he talks now than when he talked last year. I mean, in my opinion, I don't know if you feel the same, but now
Yeah.
he's kind of like he feels like, oh, it's my job. I did my job. This guy over here
Where do you
wasn't
think he
doing
got?
his
Where do you think
job.
he gets that from? Where do you think he gets that from?
From Trent Williams. Exactly.
Exactly.
That's in my opinion. I feel like we shouldn't re-sign Trent Williams. I feel like
I'm
it's
with
too
you.
rich.
I agree.
I feel like we can get a left tackle elsewhere in free agency.
Yep. Real quick, and what
but
we're saying is he's the best player on the offensive line. He's the best left tackle in football. He needs to
Yeah.
be a leader also because
yeah,
they're
you have
all
to.
looking at him. They're following
Yeah.
him. And if the example he sets is, I'm a solo dolo man. I'm out here by myself. We're not a collection of
Yeah.
five. We're independent contractors. Well, then that's how everyone's attitude is. Joe Staley was
Yeah.
the best player on the line, and he was the leader. I'm saying like, hey, they should bring in Alex Mack to lead the. No, Trent Williams. Any team that Trent Williams is on is going to look to him to be the leader of the offensive line, and he's always going to be like, hey man, don't look at me. It's not what I do. And that to me is one of the reasons why he's never been on a winning team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yep.
I think that
Makes
is
too much money to
negatively.
abdicate leadership. He makes way too. They're paying you to say something, dude. Hold people accountable.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like it's negatively affected McGlinchey as well. McGlinchey has his own problems. I watched him at Notre Dame, and I saw a guy that was kind of awkward. You know, he doesn't set his feet well. Like his kick step is decent, but he doesn't set his feet after the kick step, and that's why he
Right.
gets trucked so much. You know,
That's right.
like there's
That's
no
right.
reason why he should be getting trucked by DBs, like you said.
Right.
And he's
Also,
gotta
on
get his
that
weight up.
offensive line in at Notre Dame, who is the leader?
Quentin Nelson.
That's right.
Yeah, Quentin Nelson.
Who is the leader?
Look what he
So he
is.
had a guy. He had a guy. And then the first couple of years in the Niners, it was Staley. But now there's no leader. And McGlinchey looks like he's forgot how to play offensive line. So yes, it's very important. And as long as Trent Williams is here, it's going to be a leaderless offensive line. Who can take the lead if Trent Williams is here? No one, because he's better than you. He's better.
Exactly.
So if he doesn't want to talk, that's it. Yep.
Exactly.
Great call.
Yeah, I played in when I played in high school. We had a guy who was kind of a cancer in the locker room, and nobody could really talk over him because he was the best. You know, he ran like a 4.4 in high school. That's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
It is ridiculous. Yeah.
But he was cancerous and ended up getting kicked off the team.
Wow.
It's just it's kind of the way that I feel like this offense is trending, and I feel like we need a guy like maybe Alex Mack, or we need someone else that can come in and step up and not get paid $24 million or however much he's going to get paid.
That's what I'm with. I'd rather bring in a high price center and say, you're now the best player on the line. You're the leader here. And we're going to trade up for Penei Sewell. We're going to get a new left tackle who's got the same type of talent as Trent Williams, but doesn't have the issues that we've discussed and doesn't have to be the leader because Alex Mack is. I like that.
Yeah, and I also my next point is actually to talk about how we can address that in the draft, and that would be, I feel like the only way that we could do that is if we found a way to get Penei Sewell, right? Yes. Who, like you said, is Trent Williams, but
yes.
I don't know how well he is in leadership or anything like that, but I mean the guy is an animal. He's really
you
really
can't
good.
Expect a rookie from Oregon to step in day one and lead. That's not his job. So I think you would want to bring in a vet like Alex Mack at center.
Yeah,
because it's not McGlinchey the leader. It ain't him.
He's very easily influenced. It's obvious.
Right. Yes.
So I feel like that would be the way that you could address the offensive line is getting Alex Mack, getting Penei Sewell, and then having your $3 million a year guards. Because obviously Kyle Shanahan doesn't want to spend a lot on guards, which is fine as long as the offensive line does its job.
As long as your center and your tackles are studs.
Yeah, and so. I'm in favor in a way. It's kind of hard for me to say too because I'm a big Nick Bosa fan, right? Along with every other 49er. But I feel like it could benefit our team a lot if we traded Bosa. I'm not in favor of trading Kittle, and the reason why is because teams in the NFC West have been preparing and almost putting themselves in jeopardy, taking guys in the draft like Isaiah Simmons over a tackle, and just to defend against George Kittle. And then Jamal Adams, they traded, everything, the King's ransom, so they can get Jamal Adams. And George Kittle didn't even play. But then you see all these people making memes about Jamal Adams because all he can do is, blitz or occasionally cover a tight end. But he got destroyed in that game against Los Angeles, the Rams, in the playoffs.
So you would trade Bosa for that number 2 pick, the number 3 pick, and work from there to get Penei Sewell? You could always trade down a spot or two. I would do that.
I think if you could find a way to get into the top 5 and then get some other picks with Nick Bosa, I feel like it's something that they actually at least have to have a conversation about. I don't think it's something that they just go into the their little meeting room and say, oh, we're not trading Nick Bosa. And then because there's opportunities. And I feel like a guy like Robert Saleh would love to have Nick Bosa.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, Nick Bosa, if he's healthy, will be a superstar. I mean, he was, and I'm sure he will be, but he's got to stay healthy. And that's a lot of injuries that just keep stacking. And
on top of that, the Niners have shown that they can build a good defense without him. That's the thing. They had a top 5 defense without him. He's excellent, but he's not 100% mandatory that they keep him. So if you can if he can help them fix an issue that they find unfixable, do it.
Yeah, I feel like Eric Armstead got to go too for whatever you can trade him for. Trade him for a third if you can, and then
before he underwhelms again and his value goes down. I like that.
Yeah, and I mean he might play like a stud. Yeah, he might play like a stud, but you got to get rid of that contract. I feel like you're paying too much for that guy. He's really good in the run game, but there's guys that specialize in that. You can fix that without paying a guy as much money as you're paying him. But yeah, that's what I got today. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on, man. This is a great call. You killed it, dude. Have a great day in Lafayette, Louisiana.